Hello, CA warriors. How are you all doing? Friends, today we are going to start with a very interesting topic. But, friends, before that, remember the goal of this video is not to go deep into every single concept, but to give you a crisp, exam oriented summary so that you know what is important and how to remember it smartly. This book and video together will act as your perfect self study partner. And I'm super confident, guys, that after this revision, you will be able to solve any MCQ that come your way in the exam. So let's begin this rapid fire revision session. And yes, if you find these notes helpful, don't forget to share them with your friends. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome. Friends, in this video, I'm revising theory of production. Now, the purpose of this video is just to make the familiar with my notes and I'll be covering all the points, 100% topic now in a revision form, no detail explanations. And the purpose is just to make you familiar that you can revise all the points and these notes have covered all the 100% content. If you know this much points, you are well versed with solve any damn MCQ which come on the production. Okay, so now one advice before you go through my revision video of the production, I suggest first you go with the cost. Okay, now because on the basis of cost I have explained production function. No doubt production function is actually principal chapter and cost has derived from the production, but sometime it's good to go reversely because you people are commerce people, accounts people, lovely people. So cost is a monetary concept and production function is a non-monetary concept, so it's a bit technical. If you know the cost, then you will be able to understand this topic very better. Let's start with, without wasting time, all the important MCQs. Tuck, 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 tuck. Okay, I'm going topic wise. Now, listen, point by point within a, my intention is to cover the all topics to revise so that you can use maximum optimum uses of these notes. You who are referring these notes, fine. Let's start with now. First is introduction. Okay. One more thing. Now, this topic production function I have divided in two parts, part A and part B. Part A is production function, which is the most important part, and part B is production optimization. It's a very small topic. Let's start with introduction. In introduction, there are 7 points. Now, first point is definition. There are three types of meaning of production. Different economists have given a different view of the production, and all the definitions are correct. The first definition is one of the economists have said that production means converting input into output. Oh, so it is a technical relationship between input and output. Input means what? Input means land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. Yes, input does not only means raw material, it is a very broader, it's factors of production. So when land means N, natural resource, abbreviation is N, labor means L, capital means K, and entrepreneur means technical know-how, NLKT. When all those four inputs now combined together, we get output. That is called finished goods and services ready for sale. Okay. Now, one of the economists have given the definition that he have never used the term input and output. He have just simply said, now production means any activity, whether it's a production of goods or services, but it should generate income. It should have some exchange value. Oh, means indirectly he want to say non-monetary activities are not considered as production, right? Like service of mother. Now you are doing some charity, you are saving some child from, uh, from accident now, or you are creating some paintings for pleasure, not for selling purpose. Now these all activities are non-economic activities because here your intention is not to earn the profit, there is no exchange value. So these will non-economic activities or non-monetary activities are not called production. Okay, so production means goods and services with an intention to exchange the market. Now take a third definition. One of the economists have said that production means creation of additional utility. Oh, yes. Now, what do you mean by utility? Utility means want satisfying power. So, why we conduct the production? To satisfy human wants. Okay. Now, the production means creation of additional utility. Now, So this is again one of the definition. It can be a form utility, place utility, time utility, any of the utility you can use. But actually production means creation of additional utility because people produce the things when it have demand. Demand means what? Want satisfying power. Okay. Now, so these are the three definitions. Second point, guys, in this chapter, we will going to study the relationship between only and only input and output. As you know, now in economics we can study only relationships between any two factor. In this chapter I'm going to talk only and only about input and output. And the most important thing why I say it is a technical chapter, because you know what, input is also quantity and output is also quantity. Oh, means it's a non-monetary chapter. Input is also quantity. I'm comparing quantity with quantity. Okay, so it is a non-monetary concept, and symbolically, output and input is presented as Q means output is a function of NLKT, land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. Wow. So fourth point, fifth point, what is the main objective of this chapter? What you will going to derive from this chapter? What economists want to explain in this chapter? Friends, it's a businessman theory. I know the entrepreneur behavior or business behavior is very simple to enjoy maximum profit, right? Now if I'm going to ask you how businessman can derive maximum profit, now you people are commerce people, you're going to say some minimum cost maximum profit. Oh, but when you use minimum cost maximum profit, you are actually using monetary terms. This chapter is non-monetary. I want maximum profit definition without involving money concept. So without involving money concept, non-monetary definition is maximum output in the same input. Yes, see, indirectly they want to say reducing the cost only. But here in this chapter, we are studying the relationship between input and output, which is non-monetary concept. So in a same input, you produce maximum output. Input is a cost. See, input is a physical concept, but the when you convert input into a monetary value, it becomes a cost for you. So input and cost is similar actually. Monetary value of input is cost. Like labor is a input, but labor will not going to work free of cost. Payment to the labor is called salary become your cost. Oh, land is my input, physical input, but land will not going to work free of cost. To For a land you have to pay rent, so rent become a cost. Okay, so within a maximum input, within the same input you have to produce maximum output. This is the main objective of this chapter. Okay, or same input with minimum inputs, same output with minimum inputs. Yes, minimum input, same output. So this is the maximum profit condition non-monetary wise. Okay, now sixth, guys, fundamental law of science. Alfred Marshall once said ki you are just converting input into a output is called production. In reality, human beings never produce anything. Means they want to say men cannot create a matter. Matter means natural resource. Of course, to conduct a production, everything is made up of natural resource. For example, if you want, you can produce a furniture, but furniture is made up of wood. So the main content is wood. Wood cannot be created. It is something natural. The fundamental law of science says producer can convert natural resources, modify it into a finished good just to satisfy their demands. But in reality, they are not producing anything. The core content is natural. So man cannot create matter. Seventh, production determines. Yes, guys, production is the only most important factor to develop the country or to underdevelop. Now, the status of the country, whether the country is developed or underdeveloped, whether the country is poor or rich, it is defined only and only by productions. Now, those countries are considered developed, rich, whose production level is very high. Of course, because from production only you can generate the income. Yes. Now, the richness and poverty of the economy is always derived from production function. Now, the countries in which the production is increasing, their employment level also increases, the increase standard of living also increases. I can say national income increases, and the country is called developed. Okay, and the countries where the production is decreasing, there is an unemployment, high level of unemployment, poverty is high, national income is falling, and they are called underdeveloped or poor countries. So the level of production determine whether the country is developed or underdeveloped. So these are the 7 points MCQs. Hope you understood this. Yes, sir. Introduction. After that, factors of production. Guys, these are the features of factors of production. I have prepared in a very easy manner, in a comparison manner. Now, again, 7 to 8 points are there in a factors of production. Let's come fast. Now, land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. These are the four factors. Now, actually, these are the heroes of this chapter. Without this, production cannot be taken place. All four are required together. Now, let's understand the features. Already you have studied somewhere in the 12th standard. Now, land is a free of gift of nature. I'll just do the comparison, okay? Land is natural resource. It's a free gift of nature. Labor is a human factor. Yes, labor is a human effort. It can be mental effort as well as physical effort. Guys, human being is called laborer. Like Praveen is a laborer, but the knowledge which I'm expressing right now is my labor power. Okay, now, but yes, it's a fact. Now, my energy, my labor power cannot be get separated from myself. Now, but it is a human factor, and capital is a man-made factor. Now, in economics, capital means assets, land, building, furniture, infrastructure, bridges, plant and machineries, etc. are called capital. Oh, so it is a man-made factor. Second, land is permanent and indestructible. Of course, land is natural resource. Human being cannot destroy it. Rather, and it will remain for thousands of years. But labor is highly perishable. My energy, labor means it's a human efforts. Human efforts every day regenerate and every day perishes. You cannot store it. So that's why we say now if you are wasting today's energy, it is already exhausted. You cannot store it. You cannot say today I'm going to save my energy and tomorrow I'm going to work for equal to 2 days. No, if you're not using your energy today, it will get perished, right? Yes. Now, so it is highly perishable. Then capital is durable, of course. Now, like plant and machinery, bridges, dams, once it has been created by human beings, it can be used for a longer period of time. Let's say 10 years, 20 years, 40 years. Now, third, land is immobile. Of course, land is immovable item. You cannot shift the land from one place to another. But labor is a mobile factor. Now, for example, if I'm doing a job, now to do a job, I always travel from my residence to the office. But I have a limited mobility facility. Laborers are enjoying mobility, but laborers are less mobile. Very high mobility is enjoyed by capital. Of course, technology, plant and machinery, money can be transferred from one corner of the world to the another corner of the world. Right? Fourth, land have fixed supply. Of course, now here we are talking about physical land. Now, land is actually a fixed supply. At a national level, you cannot increase the land area. So I can say at a national level, land supply is perfectly inelastic. Perfectly inelastic means whether the price rises or fall, the supply remains zero. No change in supply. EP is equal to zero. But at individual level, supply is relatively elastic. Of course, at national level, supply is perfectly inelastic. Supply cannot change. But at individual level, you can increase the land area under your ownership. For example, today you purchase 2 acres of land. Tomorrow you will going to purchase 3 acres of land. Right? Now, labor supply depends on population. High populated countries have high labor supply. Low populated countries have low labor supply. Now, but capital supply is fluctuating, of course. Now, it depends on the decision of the entrepreneur. Now, if entrepreneur, whenever he want, he can increase the capital in the business, and whenever he want, he can reduce the capital in the business. See, it depends on the profitability decisions. If businessman find the business is growing very well, huge profits are coming up, he will going to keeps on investing more. He will increase the capital, he'll do the expansions in the business. But if he find there is no future, the business has become outdated, the profits are low or might be loss making, he will going to shut down the business and withdraw his capital. Oh, so capital enjoy a fluctuating supply. Fifth, now guys, land is a passive factor and capital is also a passive factor. Land and capital both are passive factors. So what do you mean by passive factor? Means land and capital cannot conduct a production on its own. They need the support of the labor. Oh, land says if you're going to work on me, I'll going to give the production. I will not going to produce anything on our own. Machine says now I can conduct a production, but someone should be needed to operate me. So both are passive factor. Labor is the most active factor among the all the three. Okay. Sixth, now land and labor is a primary factor. Primary means original factor, natural factor. Of course, my human efforts are not my man-made. It is automatically regenerating and automatically get perished. So anything which is natural is called primary. So land is natural, human factor is somewhere natural. So both are primary factor, original factor. But capital is a secondary factor. So why capital is a secondary factor? Logic is very simple. Capital is already made by human beings. So capital is already produced. Plant and machinery is already produced by someone. Why? With the intention to conduct further production. So capital keeps on reusing. Oh, so anything which is reusable is called secondary factor. Seven, land is non-depreciable. Of course, land are not subject to depreciation and human beings are not subject to depreciation. So land and labor are non-depreciable, but capital is always a depreciable asset. But capital is a depreciable asset. Eighth, now labor is inseparable from the laborer. Of course, labor means human efforts and laborer means human being. Now, human beings' efforts cannot be get separated. If I want to give my efforts to someone, I have to be physically present over there. Capital is a produced means of production. That's why it's called secondary. Capital is already produced to conduct further production. Ninth and tenth is common in everything. Now, inputs always have derived demand, indirect demand, right? So all land, labor, capital, entrepreneur always have derived demand, but all the factors are heterogeneous. Of course, the quality of land varies from area to area. Now, quality, mental efficiency, some labors cannot be homogeneous, heterogeneous. Some people, some labors are mentally very strong, some people are physically very strong. Machines, capacity depends, varies from technology to technology. So heterogeneous. Now, entrepreneur. You cannot do the entrepreneur comparison with all the inputs. Entrepreneur is something different. Yes, entrepreneur is a captain of all the inputs. Am I correct? Entrepreneur is the person now who is a leader of land, labor, and capital. Entrepreneur is the person who appoint all the three barabar and get the work done from them by coordinating. So entrepreneur is the person who started the business, initiating business enterprises. Entrepreneur is a person whose main job is to conduct the innovation. Yes, as per Skumter, who is an economist, he said the main function of the entrepreneur is to do the innovation, and innovation is a very highly risky, so he is a risk bearing and uncertainty bearer. Entrepreneur is the person who is a coordinator who make a coordination between land, labor, and capital. Entrepreneur is the person who will going to pay rent to the land, salaries and wages to the labor, and interest to the capital. And he will going to pay to himself as a profit also. Oh, so hope you understood the factors. Yes. Now let's elaborate something more to the capital. Now, the one more topic is there. What is the difference between capital and wealth? A single line, one liner difference. Capital is an asset. Wealth is also an asset. Both are actually one and the same. But there is a very thin line difference. What is the difference? Economics says that assets are called capital, which you are using for some production with an intention to earn profit. Okay, but that assets which remains ideal does not fetch you any income. It is not using in the production activity is called wealth. Now, for example, now you have a you are staying in a house. Now, for example, that is your owned house. Is that house, of course, house is an asset for you, but is that house fetching any income to you? No, because you are staying in it, right? So that asset, this house is a wealth for you because it does not fetch you any income. You are using for self purpose. Okay, but for example, you have one more house which you have let it out on a rent, and every month you are earning rent. So this house becomes a capital because it is fetching you some income. This house is a wealth. So both are assets only. Now, so capital is an asset which is useful in production and generates income. Wealth is a capital which remains, wealth is an asset which remains ideal. Okay, but wealth is actually a broader concept and capital is a narrow concept because the capital has been derived from the wealth. Wealth is a total assets you have. So from the total assets only you can put some assets to the production. So capital is a part of wealth. So all capital is a wealth, but all wealth may not be capital. Okay. Now, types of capital. Now, again, I'm saying in economics, we call it capital. In accounts, you call it assets. So, types of assets. Okay. Now, so there are three types of broad capital. Business capital means assets used in a business. Okay. Individual capital means that assets which you are using for personal purpose. Okay. Social capital means society is using that capital. Government is owning this capital. One by one, let's elaborate it. First, the main asset is business asset because we are studying the chapter is a business economics. Production. Now, business assets. Okay, business assets are of two types: fixed assets and current assets. Hope you have studied while learning the final accounts, balance sheet. Yes, fixed assets are durable, but current assets are single use like cash balance, bank balance, raw material, stock, closing stock. These are called circulating capital, or I can say working capital, or I can say current assets. Okay, now these are single use. Closing stock, once you sell, it's gone, right? Yes, fixed assets are durable. You keeps on using for a long term, right? But fixed assets are of two types: tangible, intangible. Tangible, which you can see, you can touch, building, plant and machinery, car, etc. Intangible, goodwill, copyrights, etc. Same you have, barabar. Then individual capital means these are the assets which is not used for business. These are the assets which people use for personal. So asset owned by individuals. Like your personal car, you are using that furniture at your home. Furniture using at home is called individual capital. But furniture used in the office is called business capital. Oh, so it's personal properties. Social capital. Government is managing bridges, dams, infrastructure. It's a public property. Anyone can use it. Am I correct? Railway, right? Public parks. Okay. Now, so assets belong to the society. Roads, bridges, dams, etc. Managed by government, but it's a public property. It's called capital because owned by society. Okay, so these are called types of capital. Hope you understood. Yes. Now, enterprise objectives and constraints. Oh, guys, what are the objective of the enterprises? Of course, production function is a businessman function. So, what are the objectives of the businessman? Okay, so guys, every businessman have three basic objectives. Okay, main objective, which is common, selfish interest. It's a businessman's own objective. That is organic objective. It is one of the basic when any businessman start its business. First objective is not to earn the profit, maximum profits. First objective is to stabilize your business, to make the, to cross the survival limit. So it's called organic objective, a very basic objective. The minimum objective of all kind of enterprise is to survive and stay alive, to avoid shutdown. So 1 year, 2 year, first businessman always want to survive. Means a minimum level of profit, बराबर है? So that I can become, my business becomes stable. But once they become stable, your objective goes to the next level. That is called economic objective. Economic objective is now to earn maximize profit, do the expansions. Your local level business should go to the city level to state level to national level, and national level to international level. Opening up branches and all, and earning maximum profits not only for businessman himself, for the investors, बराबर, so that shareholder can get maximum dividend, for the employees so that they can give a good packages to the employees, right? To maximize the profit is the economic objective. But there is something beyond maximize profits. So what? Now to take care of the society. Guys, if you want to run your business for a short term, then your objective should be only a economic objective, that is to earn maximum profit. But due to which you can will be able to run your business only for 30 years, maximum 20, 25 years. Oh, but if your vision is to sustainable development, means your business should run for a generation to generation for a very long term, then guys, two objectives should be coincide with your personal objectives. So what is that? Social objective and national objective. Social objective means along with the business, that is your selfish interest, no doubt you have to take care of the society, because you people are surviving in the society. You people are doing business in the society, so you have to do something betterment for the society, means providing good jobs, creating employment. Now, okay, giving a good quality products to the customer. Now if you're thinking for the betterment of the society through your businesses, your brand image, your goodwill will get generate, and you will be able to conduct a business for a long term. Okay, unadulterated goods and good quality goods at a very good cheaper rate, creating employments. Now when you conduct a production, you should take care that you should not ruin the society's resources by pollution. A selfish businessman does not take care of the environment, but they keeps on doing the business. Now conducting, conducting the production with an intention to earn profit without judging what negative and positive impacts will be there to the society. Now to reduce air, water and pollution, because you are earning from that society, so you have to give back, like CSR. Okay, national objective. Now your business objective should be now in a line with the national objective. No doubt your primary objective will be to earn the profit, but secondary objective should be the national. Means while doing a business, it should be a vision. It should There should be a vision also that you should contribute to the country also, like national income increase, to develop your country, do some social awareness. Now open some schools and all, to create a good quality labors. Oh, remove inequality, open your businesses and some branches in the rural areas so that rural areas should be get developed. Okay, take care of the national priorities. Fine, sir, we understood. So these are the objectives. Now, one more is human objective. Guys, human objective means now the people who are working with you, that is your employees. Now, take care of them to make them develop, groom them time to time, give them proper salary, does not exploit them. Now, give them a very positive environment so your business. See, businessman knows he alone cannot run the venture. If he want to do the expansion, if he will going to run the venture only his own uh, on the basis of his own efforts, now so he will be able to run a small shop. But the companies, when they want to go to international level, they have to groom their employees to develop the loyalty among them, to keeps on grooming them so that they should be updated. Because if labors are updated, then your business will going to be updated, right? Yes, sir. So these are the objectives. So friends, introduction is over. Now the main concept I'm starting with. The main topic of this chapter is short run production function and long run production function. Oh, yes. Maximum MCQs will going to come from this. So production function we will going to study in a two parts. One is short run, another one is long run. Short run production function. Short run means some inputs are fixed, some inputs are variable. Oh, yes. Now, if you're going to study, first you have studied, you have watched my revision lecture of cost, and then you came over here, you might be knowing the short run. Short run means some inputs are variable, some inputs are fixed. And long run means all inputs are variable, there is no fixed inputs. Okay. Now, the short run production function are also called law of variable proportion. It is also called law of diminishing returns and change in factor production. Any of these four names, barabar, now if they are using an exam, now you should understand it's a short run. Guys, short run means some inputs are fixed, some inputs are variable. So with now you can understand this law with some assumption. There are five assumptions. First assumption, economists said that now this law is applicable only on physical inputs. Means this law is applicable only on goods and not on services. Why, sir? Now this production function is drawn, this theory has been made, this law has been made by keeping in the mind that you are conducting some physical production, not services. No doubt, production of service is also production because it generates income. But in this law, we will going to consider only and only now manufacturing of goods. Why? Because physical goods can be quantified, services cannot be quantified. Okay. Now, second thing, assumption, as it is a short run, now some inputs will be fixed, some inputs will be variable. See, as I told you in this chapter, we are studying only a relationship between input and output. So basically the function is quantity is a function of NLKT. So it is assumed that only one factor is variable, that is L, labor. And barabar, labor is a variable factor and rest NKT are the fixed factor. Oh, that's why I'm putting bar on it. So this is the symbol, right? Q is the output. Okay, but so there are four inputs. Three are assumed to remain constant. Only labor will be a variable input. Okay, and rest all are fixed inputs. Fine, fine, fine. But to explain this, all four inputs are not considered. To explain this law, economists have assumed that now we will going to consider only two factors, that is labor and capital. Okay, labor will be variable and capital will be a constant. Means if you want to increase the output, see, input and output always have direct relationship. Okay, so if you want to increase the output, if you want to increase the production, what you can change? Only variable input. Machinery cannot be changed. Capital means plant and machinery. Now, sir, plant and machinery cannot be changed. No. Again, I have my advice. If you want to understand better, please watch my short-run production function first. Sorry, short-run cost curve. Short-run cost curve and short-run production function are coincide. So plant and machinery is assumed to remain constant. Plant and machinery is called capital, technology, whatever may be. Only variable input can change. So can I say in short run producer can change the output only by changing variable factor? That's why this law is also called law of variable proportion. In short run, only variable input plays an important role to conduct the production. State of technology means capital is assumed to remain constant. But throughout the analysis, plant and machinery neither increase nor decreases. Okay, so variable factor is called labor. So labors are variable. One more assumption, all labors are appointed are homogeneous. It is very unrealistic assumption. Now, labors cannot be homogeneous. All inputs are heterogeneous practically. But why it has been assumed? Because guys, if labor, because to explain you this theory, we need stability. If we will not going to conduct this assumption, so might be some laborers are experienced and smart enough, so from less input they can produce more output, the output will increase all of a sudden. And might be some labor you have appointed on the job who are conducting production for you. If they're unexperienced, fresher, so in more input they're going to produce less output, wastage will be high, so your production will fall. So sometime your output will increase, sometime your output will reduce, so you will not going to get stability. So you'll not be able to do any kind of analysis. So to assume stability, all the labors appointed are of equal capacity. Now their mental ability, their physical ability now will be same. For example, if in a 1 hour you can produce 800 chocolates, so Praveen also can produce only 800 chocolates. Means your efficiency and my efficiency will be assumed to remain constant, which is practically not possible. That's why it's an assumption. Okay, so these four assumptions are the main assumptions. On by considering this assumption, one table will be created. Now, equation is K plus L is equal to Q. Oh, seriously? Yes, K means capital. When that is plant and machinery, labor is a variable factor. When machine and labor will work together, I'll be getting production, which is called total product. Okay, now if you're going to see the chart, my machinery is constant, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Right? Yes. So machinery will not be going to change throughout. If machinery change, you will not be in a short run, you will be getting into the long run then. Because then everything will become variable. Am I correct? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, sir, we understood. Now let's proceed further. Understand. So capital is constant. So your variable factor is increasing. You are appointing more and more labor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you will go to see input and output always have direct relationship. Your output is also increasing. Total output. Quantity is my total output. Okay. So input and output always have direct relationship. So actually it is an equation. K plus L is equal to Q in a tabular form where K is constant. Fine, sir. But you know what? Total production, from total you cannot draw any conclusion. So if you want to understand this law, now total will be converted into average and marginal. So from total we will going to will derive average product and marginal product. So there'll be a three concept: total production, average production, and marginal production. So from total, how we're going to convert average and marginal? So there'll be a formula. So the first MCQ, sometime in the exam, they will going to ask you calculative MCQs. My point number 7 is a formula. All possible formulas are written. In the exam, they will going to tell you from TP you should derive AP. So how we're going to derive average product from total product? Your formula will be total product divided by variable factor. Okay, if you want to understand detailed MCQs, you have to purchase my detailed lectures. Okay, now my objective of this video is not to explain the calculations and all, just to make you familiar with my notes so you can take maximum benefit out of it. Okay, so from TP AP, your formula will be to calculate average product total production divided by variable factor. Sometime in the exam they can ask you vice versa. From AP will be given in the question, you have to find total production. So average product into variable factor. Okay. Now, from total production, sometimes they're going to tell you to find out marginal production. Marginal production and average production means what? Average production means now production done by one labor. Oh, output produced per labor. And marginal means something extra. Extra labor have produced some extra output. How much extra labor? One extra labor have conducted production of extra output. Okay. So to find out the extra, from TP, you can find MP, change in total product divided by change in variable factor. Okay, now, and sometime in the exam, they're going to ask you from MP you have to find out TP. So you have to, this formula you have to use. Previous TP plus current MP. So means what? Means come over here. For example, in the exam, they're going to tell you when three labors are appointed, 9 total production has been done. When fourth labor will be appointed, how much total production will be? You have to find out total production. Yes, at fourth labor, marginal production will be given. So what you have to do? Previous TP means you have to consider 9 and current MP 3. 9 plus 3 will be what? 12. Okay. Fine. Hope you understood the formulas. Yes. Now, second part. If you're going to see, to explain this short run, economists have derived it, economists have divided this table in a three stages. Means this law has been divided in three stages. Stage 1, stage 2 is in my yellow shade, and stage 3 is in my green shade. Okay. Now average, marginal, and stages. Now, you know, and the name has been assigned to these stages. The name has been given on the basis of marginal production. If you're going to see, this table has been divided in a three parts that is based on marginal product. Initially, my marginal production is increasing 2, 3, 4. That's why, because marginal production is increasing, that's why the name is given law of increasing returns. Okay, MP is increasing in the first stage, that's why now name is given increasing returns. In the second stage, my MP is falling 210. Now, because MP is falling, that's why the second stage is called diminishing returns. Okay, matlab diminishes. My MPs diminishes. In the third stage, MP become negative. That's why the name is given law of negative returns. Oh, so this entire schedule has been divided three stages on the basis of now trend of marginal production. When marginal production increases, this means you are in the first stage, increasing return. When marginal production falls, you are into a second stage, diminishing returns. Now, but remain positive. If marginal production become negative, you enter into the third stage that is called negative returns. Fine, sir, we understood. Now, up now there are five important points, 6 points, sorry, six important MCQs, might be five MCQs. We will going to derive from the diagram. Even though you don't know the logic, but you will be able to solve. Now, my purpose of this video is now to make you understand 5 points. And you know what? After this 5 points is a postmortem of this diagram. I'm going to explain you in a speedy manner how this diagram has been made as well as how this points has been derived. If you know the shape of the diagram, you will be able to solve any MCQ. Yes, 100% covering. Let's start with. Let's go stage wise. Friends, if you're going to see now in the first stage in a blue shade, my total variable factor is increasing and my total output is also increasing. So throughout the stage, my TP is increasing. Am I correct? Now, but TP is increasing in a two patterns. See, TP initially it is increasing at an increasing rate and later on it is increasing at a diminishing rate. So we didn't understood. Now let's see. Initially, if you're going to see the first labor has been appointed, I produced two chocolates. Am I correct? So my marginal production is 2. When I appointed the second labor, my production increased to 5. So my production have been increased from 2 to 5. It has been increased by 3. When I appointed the third labor, my production has been increased to 9. Means it was increased by 4. So initially TP was increased by 2, then 3, then 4. If you're if you can analyze this, as more and more labor I'm appointing, variable factor is appointed, my total production is increasing by increasing manner. But this increasing pattern have some limits. Means my TP is increasing at a very increasing rate, in a very speedier. But the moment I've appointed the fourth labor, no doubt my TP has been increased from 9 to 12. But the speed has been reduced. Instead of now, initially it was increasing by 2, 3, 4. Then it should increase by 5 now further. Yes, but it started increasing by 3. Okay. When I appointed the fifth labor, 12 to 14, my TP was increasing, but it was increasing by 2. So if you're going to see the pattern, initially my TP was increasing by increasing rate and later on my TP is increasing, but by diminishing rate by 3, 2, and then it is increasing by 1 and then 0. Oh, so here the speed has been reduced. Ah, so there are two ways of rising. Am I correct? Yes. Now, why I'm explaining this? Because of this only one point has been derived. So till the ninth point, my TP is increasing in a speedier manner. But after ninth, it is increasing no doubt, but by a slower manner. Now, so your first stage, your TP is increasing. So see the black line, TP is increasing at an increasing rate up to zero point 0.9 units. And all of a sudden after 9 my TP increases and reach to the 12 units and my first stage get over. But this is after this my TP started increasing in a slower manner, so there is a breach of trend. So the name is given point of influx. Point of influx means all of a sudden my TP was increasing in a speedier manner and all of a sudden it has been broken into a slowest manner. So one turning point arises. So economists have broken the trend by the giving a name point of influx. So before point of influx, my TP was increasing at an increasing rate. After point of influx, my TP is increasing at a diminishing rate. From the diagram, it can be visualized. Increasing rate means your TP is steeper, and later on, after point of influx, it becomes little bit flatter comparatively. Oh, right now, and my first stage is over. Okay, it reached to the 12. Now, in the first stage, average production. If you're going to see, my AP is increasing continuously throughout the stage and reach to the 3, become maximum and become constant. So see the blue curve, AP is increasing continuously throughout the stage, it is increasing, become maximum over here. Oh, first stage. See the MP also. Marginal production is also increasing throughout, but 2, 3, 4 up to the 9. And at a point of influx, MP become maximum. And after that, it started falling. The moment it started falling, the first stage get over. But there is a one comparison you have to check it out. AP and MP, both AP and MP are increasing, but MP is greater. Oh, see, my AP is increasing 2, 2.5 and 3. Now MP is increasing 2, 3, 4. MP is greater, but the moment average product become equal, sorry, constant, MP falls and again it become equal. Yes, so how your diagram will going to be? A MP curve is my red curve. It will remain above in the first stage to AP because MP is greater. When both are increasing, MP becomes greater, but it becomes becomes maximum at a point of influx. After MP become maximum at a point of influx, it start falling, and it fall that much that it coincide. It cuts, AP cuts, MP cuts AP at a maximum point. And in graph, when 2 points get intersected, they become equal. Okay. And the first stage get over. So can I say MP cuts AP at a maximum point where MP is maximum? When AP is maximum? Yes. So these are the MCQs, huh? Fine, fine, fine. So my first stage is over. In the second stage, as more and more input was increasing, my TP was increasing, but at a diminishing rate, and it become maximum, right? Throughout the stage. So see, my yellow shade shows yellow chart, huh? It is continuously increasing in a flat zone and it become maximum, reach to the 15 units. So throughout the second stage, my TP was increasing. Okay, right? Yes, sir. AP is continuously falling, but remains positive. So my AP is continuously falling and the second stage get over. MP started falling from the first stage. Then in the second stage, it is continuously falling and it becomes zero. So you will going to see one trend when if you're going to compare AP and MP, AP is also falling, MP is also falling, but now MP is lesser. So the red curve, which would be higher in the first stage, it will become lower. So see, the red curve have become below. And at the end of the second stage, it has reached to the x-axis. Means MP is zero over here. Okay, that means it is touching to the x-axis. Fine, sir. In the third stage, as more labor you appoint, guys, your TP falls, right? AP is also falling but remain positive. Margin become negative. So in the third stage, TP is also falling, AP is also falling, and MP becomes negative. So this is the how the diagram has been created. Okay. Now from this diagram, 5 MCQs will be get derived. Now what are the MCQs? The first MCQ is about total product. If you're going to analyze TP stage wise, so if you're going to see overall, my TP is increasing in the first stage at an increasing rate up to point of influx. After the TP increases at a diminishing rate, become maximum at the end of the second stage, and in third stage TP falls. So see here, initially up to point of influx. So there are three patterns: up to point of influx and after point of influx. TP increases at an increasing rate. After point of influx, TP increases at a diminishing rate and become maximum in second stage. And in the third stage, TP declines. Oh, hope you understood. Yes. Now, then second point is about marginal. See marginal product curve. MP initially increases. At a point of influx, it become maximum. And after point of influx, if you go to see, MP continuously falls. It never rises again. Means MP becomes a reverse U shape. Am I correct? Yes. Continuously falling, in the second stage it becomes 0, and in the third stage it becomes negative. So see, initially up to point of influx, MP increases and become maximum, right? Yes, sir. After point of influx, MP continuously falls, becomes 0 in the second stage. And the third stage, MP becomes negative. Okay. Third, MCQ. This is the most important part. Huh? Relationship between AP and MP. If you're going to see the diagram, there are three relationships between AP and MP. What is that? Relationship one. When AP and MP both rises, MP is greater. See, this is 3A point. Best designed notes for you all guys with all graphical representations. Second, guys, when AP and MP falls, when AP and MP falls, MP become lesser. See, that's why MP curve is below. Right? Maximum MCQs comes on these relationships, huh? But when AP become maximum, MP becomes equal. That means AP cuts MP, sorry, MP cuts AP at maximum point from above. Am I correct? Yes. So when both AP and MP increases, MP is greater. Both AP and MP falls, MP is lesser. When AP is maximum, MP is equal. That is MP cuts at maximum point from above. Each and every line I have stated, these are all the MCQs. Then fourth, relationship between TP and MP. Now, very direct, there are again three relationship between total product and average marginal product. Now, if you want to see first relationship, when TP is maximum, MP is 0. Oh, yes. When TP falls, MP become negative. So these are the 2 points. When TP is maximum, MP is 0. When TP started falling, MP becomes negative. Okay. Now, third relationship is bit technical. Please see to it. Guys. What is the technicality? If you're going to see, actually MP na is a speedometer of total product. Okay. Yes. See, what economists have said that before point of influx, TP is increasing at an increasing rate. How this increasing rate has been explained? That MP is increasing. So up to point of influx, when TP is increasing at an increasing rate, MP increases because MP is indicating the speed. Okay, but after point of influx, TP is increasing diminishing rate. But how you come to know by the shape? Because MP diminishes. Oh, so when TP increases at an increasing rate, that means MP is increasing. And when TP increases at a diminishing rate, MP falls. This is the relationship. So see, up to point of influx, when TP was increasing at an increasing rate, MP also increases. Oh, after point of influx, when TP is increasing at a diminishing rate, MP will diminish. Increasing rate increases, diminishing rate diminishes. Fine. Now the conclusion. Guys, there are three stages. Each and every point has been recorded in these notes. But now the conclusion is, in which stage producer will love to conduct the production? Stage 1, stage 2 or stage 3? Guys, stage 3 is totally illogical. Either stage 1 or stage 2. Tell me. Guys, the operating stage is second stage. So but why? Yes. Now, second stage, a rational producer will always produce in the second stage, neither in the first stage nor in the third stage. Are you sure? But so why? Because in the second stage, producer enjoy maximum profit due to optimal utilization of resources. Now, you know what do you mean by optimal utilization? Optimal utilization, if you want to understand, that's why I told you first you understand the cost curves. Okay, in the first stage there is an underutilization. In the third stage there is an overutilization. Neither underutilization is good nor overutilization is good. Am I correct? Yes. Now, to always optimal utilization, which you're going to enjoy in the second stage. So which stage is an operating stage? Second stage. That's why stage 1 and stage 3 is called economic absurdity stage or economic nonsense stage. Oh, everything is written over here. Rational producer will not produce in the first stage because fixed cost is underutilized. Rational producer will never produce in the third stage because fixed cost is overutilized. Rational producer will always produce in the second stage as all the factors are optimally utilized. Hence, stage 1 and stage 3 is called economic absurdity or economic nonsense stage. Hope you understood. If you want to understand a detailed logic, why, how, guys, everything practically I've explained with the comparison of the cost in a detail in my detailed video lectures. So if you want to understand details, now you have to purchase my video lectures, details one, or you can enjoy the notes. Now, by this short run production function has been revised. Now come to the long run production function. Very simple. Guys, long run production function is always easier than the short run. Sir, how come? Guys, long run is always derived from the short run. In short run, it was assumption that some inputs are fixed, some inputs are variable. But in long run, means all inputs are variable. Oh, means in short run, producer can change the output only by changing variable factor. That's why it's called law of variable proportion. But in long run, you can change the plant and machinery also. So in short run, your abbreviation was Q is equal to L and K was constant. It was a fixed input and it was variable input. But in long run, everything is variable. Means producer can change his labor also and capital also. Means to conduct the production, he can increase the machines also. That flexibility wasn't there in short run. That's why it's also called returns to scale. Scale means size of the machine can be changed, which was not possible in the short run. Oh, now up very easy. Within a 5 minutes, I'll going to explain you this. Returns to scale is explained in three stages. Yes, like short run was divided in three stages, long run is also divided in three stages. Stage one is called increasing returns to scale. Stage two is called constant returns to scale, and stage three is called decreasing returns to scale. The names are similar. Am I correct? Yes. So see this table. You will never going to get this table anywhere in any notes in the market, only these notes. In a very easy manner, one line concept, but this one line they can ask you in the exam in a 5 ways. Okay, so see the table, how to learn this, how to use this table. Understand stages: increasing returns to scale, constant returns to scale, and decreasing returns to scale. Now understand, it's very simple. Increasing returns to scale means, first understand the meaning. All the definitions you will be able to understand in this way. Increasing returns means your profit in this stage, your profits are increasing. Returns means profits. Oh, so this is the stage where your profits are increasing. But listen, your profits are increasing. You have never issued the maximum profit. Okay, the objective is to enjoy maximum profit, right? So how your profit is, when your profit get increases, when your cost reduces. Am I correct? Yes. So in this, right? But when your cost get reduces, so in the business when cost get reduces, your profit increases. Am I correct? But here I want a non-monetary definition. When your profit will get increase, I want non-monetary definition. Non-monetary definition don't involve cost. Cost is a monetary concept, right? So guys, the definition is when in a less input you can produce more output, your cost reduces. So the definition is when output increases in a greater proportion than increase in input, it's called increasing returns to scale. So the definition is more output is produced from a less input. Okay. So the definition, hope you understood. Increasing returns to scale means a small change in input brings more change in output. So output should be greater and input should be comparatively later, right? This definition can be explained with the help of relationship. Guys, input and output always have direct relationship. Am I correct? Yes. So now understand with the examples. Sometime in the exam, they're not going to ask you a theoretical definition. They're going to ask you the application of this definition. Means they in the exam, they're going to say if input doubles, output will be more than doubles. See, input and output have direct relationship. Huh? When input increases, obviously output will increase. When input decreases, output will decrease. Okay. So when input is getting doubled, output will become more than double. This is called increasing returns to scale. Means output should be greater. If input is triple, output will be more than triple. Sometimes they ask you in the wordings form. Sometimes they will go to ask you in the exam MCQs in a percentage form. If input increase by 10%, output will increase because both have direct relationship, but it will increase by more than 10%. It can be 12, 15. But if input fall by 10%, output will be falling lesser because output should be greater. So fall should be less, then only output can be greater. Okay, fall by 8%. Fine, sir, we understood. Increasing returns to scale. Acha, means profit is increasing. Acha, if you're going to produce more output from a less input, your cost will reduce. So see, this definition also explained in the form of cost curve. Your long run cost curve is falling. So in the first stage, your cost reduces. And because your cost reduces, guys, your profit increases. So sometime in the exam, they're going to ask you in the first stage in increasing returns to scale, your average long run average cost curve will reduce. Okay. Constant returns to scale. Now understand. Constant returns means profit. In this stage, neither your profit is increasing nor decreasing. Your profit is constant. You know, profit remains constant when your cost remains constant. Oh, so how this has been defined without cost, non-monetary definition? Guys, in this input and output will remain equal. The change in equal. In the increasing return, output was becoming greater, but here input and output will same. So the definition is percentage change in input brings equal change in output, neither greater change nor lesser change. Oh, means if input is doubled, output will become double. If input is tripled, output will be triple. In the percentage form, if input increase by 10%, output will also increase by exactly 10%. If input fall by 10%, of course, output will also fall because both have direct relationship. It will fall by 10%. Oh, so constant return means input and output have equal change. Here, the cost will remain constant. So if you're going to see the cost line, your LAVC curve is constant, a horizontal straight line. Neither cost is falling nor rising. Okay. Third stage, decreasing returns to scale. Decreasing means profit is falling. Guys, profit fall when cost increases. Am I correct? And how the cost increases? When input is more, output is less. In a more input, you are producing lesser output. Means your cost will increase because you are wasting your raw material, land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. Oh. So in a more input, you are producing less output. That means your cost will increase. You will reduce your profits. Decreasing returns, input is greater, output is lesser. So the definition is percentage change in input brings less change in output. So if input doubled, output is less than doubled. If input is tripled, output is less than tripled. Oh, so if input increases by 10%, output will increase, but by only 8%, means output is lesser. If input fall by 10%, output will fall greaterly 12% because output should be lesser. So your cost will increase in this LVC curve is increasing. Hope you understood long run average cost curve. Boom! Barabar, guys, in a very systematic manner, I have created these notes so that you can enjoy economics superbly. Now, by this, my production function part A is over. Now come to the part B, production optimization. Guys, it is also called isocont curve. Very easy. If you want to understand this concept better, first you revise indifference curve, or you can watch my fastest video, Barabar indifference curve. Okay, now production function is an production optimization is an isocont curve theory. It is same as indifference curve. So I'm not getting into so much detail. You can compare this notes with this notes. Now, then sir, if it is same as indifference curve, then what is the difference? Batata hu. Indifference curve is a consumer theory. Over there, the economists have explained now maximum satisfaction. In isocont theory, now in production optimization, isocont is also called indifference curve only, but it is a producer theory. The main objective of producer is to enjoy maximum profit, and maximum profit come by cost minimization. So indifference curve was indicating how consumer derive maximum satisfaction, but isocont theory indicates how consumer reach to the minimum cost and enjoy maximum profit. Oh, so isocont will indicate explain you cost minimization. Now, okay, so indifference curve is a consumption theory, isocont curve is a production theory, but both the theories are one and the same. You can say indifference curve consumer theory, indifference curve production theory. Oh, is it so? Yes. Now, indifference curve, guys, consumer to derive satisfaction, maximum satisfaction, they have to spend money. For that, they need income. So income is the resource that's called budget over there, is the resource to derive satisfaction. But producer, to conduct a production, consumer also have to spend, a producer also have to spend the money. That is called cost. So factors of production. Actually here, there is a cost. So producer budget is called cost. Because to conduct the production, they have to spend money, and consumer also have to spend money to derive the satisfaction. Satisfaction you cannot get free of cost. You have to purchase the goods and you have to consume. Then only you're going to derive the satisfaction. So income plays an important role. Budget plays an important role for the consumer. Of course, producer budget is called cost. So cost minimization. How to derive cost minimization? There is one objective. In same cost, maximum output. So your average cost will fall. Or in less cost, same output. This is the objective. So production optimization will going to explain you how businessman can achieve, can produce maximum output in a same cost. Okay. Now, so isocont curve. Isocont curve is also called indifference curve. How this table is been made. Now, for example, you want to produce 1,000 chocolates. See, huh? Directly, you want to produce 1,000 chocolates. You got an order of 1,000 chocolates. Now, to produce these chocolates, businessmen need two factors. One is capital, plant and machinery. Another one is labor. When capital plus labor will going to put the efforts, you will going to get your quantity. This is what the equation is. Yes. Now, but my quantity is same. Now here, indifference curve, as I told you in my revision lectures also, indifference curve means confusion. Here, businessman is also getting confused because these 1,000 chocolates can be produced with various combinations of capital and labor. How come? Now, for example, one machine and 12 labor. If I upon one machine and 12 labor, 1,000 chocolates can be produced. Oh, but if businessman want to increase the capital, if businessman feels, no, I want to purchase more machineries, upon more machineries, then you can reduce the labor. Means capital and labor have inverse relationship. So more capital, less labor. If you're going to increase more and more capital, you need labor less because automation will going to be there. Okay, so these are the various combinations which indicates 1,000 chocolates will be produced. One capital, 12 labor. If you want to increase more capital, you have to reduce the labor. Labor will be sacrificed, marginal rate of substitution. If you will further increase the capital, you can reduce the labors. Only four labors are needed. So three machines and four labor may produce 1,000 chocolates. Fourth combination is four machines and three labor can produce 1,000 chocolates. So now businessman is confused which combination should be the best combination to produce 1,000 chocolates because all the combinations give me equal quantity. That's why it's called isocont curve. Isocont means equal quant. So an isocont represent all the combinations of the inputs. Various combination of the inputs are capable of producing same level of output. Oh, so businessman is in, it is also called indifference curve. Okay, right? So if you're going to plot this diagram, you will exactly going to get indifference curve, which you call it IQ curve, right? And same, if you're going to compare the notes, it's same. Now I'm just deriving one point. Rest all MCQs I have already explained you in difference curve. I'm not wasting my time. If you're going to plot this table and you're going to frame an IQ curve, your isocont curve is downward sloping, and one thumb rule will going to be get derived. That is any combination you produce, A, B, C, D, any combination of labor and capital you purchase, all combination will going to give you equal output. So the thumb rule is, rule number one is any combination on same isocont curve gives you equal quantity, 1,000 chocolates only. Okay, okay. This is the first rule of isocont. Second rule, if you create a lots of production levels, now single curve is called isocont curve, and when you create multiple curves, it's called isocont map. Now here rule number two, we have studied in indifference curve also. Isocont map means a various levels of productions. IQ1 indicates 1,000 chocolates of production. IQ2 indicates we can produce 2,000 chocolates also. IQ3 indicates 3,000 chocolates also. Okay, so higher isocont curve gives me highest possible production. Fine, fine, fine. So, but why we want indifference map? Guys, every businessman have an intention to produce maximum possible output in a same cost, right? So if businessman find I can produce 3,000 chocolates in the same cost, means for example, my cost is 20,000. In 20,000, I can produce 2,000 chocolates also and 3,000 chocolates also. So businessman will go to produce 3,000 chocolates because my cost will reduce, then only my profit will increase. So any combination on the higher IQ curve give higher output. So IQ3, highest possible isocont curve gives me highest possible output as compared to the lower IQ curve. This is the rule number two. But any combination on the same curve gives me equal output. Okay. Now, so a rational behavior of the producer will be they always want to reach to the highest possible, right? Yes, sir. So this is isocont map. Now, but production cannot be done free of cost. To conduct the production, whether high production or low production, now you have to incur some cost. So how your cost line will be? So the cost line will touching both the axes. In difference committee is called budget line. Cost means what? Paying rent to the land, paying salary to the labor, paying interest to the capital. So price of the factors is called labor. So to understand this law, now we have to conduct one assumption that price of the factors will remain constant, because if labor salary is increased, rent increased, so your cost will not remain constant. So I'll not be able to do the analysis. Okay, so if in the practical theory cost increase, your cost will line will shift to the right. If your cost reduces, your cost line will shift to the left. But in this concept, your price of the factor should remain constant. Means my cost line will remain constant. Neither it will increase nor it will decrease. Okay. So now how we're going to achieve a production optimization? We will going to combine indifference map with a cost line. So production optimization can be achieved by two way. Case one, same cost but maximum output, and low cost with the same output. So there are two diagrams, but see the first one in a same cost maximum output, which is actually realistic. Here my cost is constant. For example, my cost is 10,000 rupees. Businessmen want to produce chocolates in a 10,000 rupees. So isocon 1, I can produce 1,000 chocolates in 10,000 rupees. Isocon 2 indicates I can produce 2,000 chocolates in 10,000 rupees. My budget is fixed. And isocon 3, I want to produce 3,000 chocolates. So the rational behavior is every businessman want to achieve highest possible IQ curve. So which is the highest possible IQ curve he can achieve? So as per this law, isocon 3, businessman want to produce 3,000 chocolates, but it is impossible. This curve is beyond its cost line. Barabar means in 10,000 he cannot produce 3,000 chocolates. Ignore it. If you want to produce 3,000 chocolates, your cost should be increased. Means your cost line should shift to the right. But given position, now my budget is 10,000. So IQ3 producer wish to produce, but he will not be able to. Skip it. Now you have two options, IQ2 and IQ1. Both are within the budget. So a producer will going to produce obviously 2,000 chocolates. So production optimization means equilibrium point will be a point where my cost line will be exactly tangent to IQ curve. So it is called a minimum cost, minimum possible cost. So it is called producer equilibrium point. So can I say as per producer equilibrium point is a point where cost line is tangent to the IQ curve, only that much quantity will be produced. Oh, this is called in a same cost I produce maximum possible output. In my example, 200 chocolates, 2000 chocolates, that is IQ2. Okay. Now, low cost, same output. What is low cost, same output? Please understand. Okay. Now, low cost, same output means what? Again, the theory remains same. Producer equilibrium is a equilibrium where cost line is tangent to IQ curve. Up in this, I have only single IQ curve, means my output is same. I want to produce 1,000 chocolates. But if I don't want to increase the output, so I'm going to keep my output same, but then I'm going to reduce my cost. So L1, three budget lines are given. First budget is 5,000 my cost. Businessman want to produce 1,000 chocolate in 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, and 20,000 rupees. Three budget lines are there. Now in 5,000, you cannot produce 1,000 chocolates. That's why my isocon curve does not touch to K1 and L1. So ignore it. Now you have two options. You can produce 1,000 chocolates in 10,000 rupees cost, and you can also produce in 20,000. So if you're going to produce by A combination and C combination of capital and labor, your 20,000 in 20,000 rupees cost, you will be able to produce 1,000 chocolates. But in if you go with L2 and K2 combination, in 10,000 rupees you can produce 1,000 chocolates. As a businessman, which budget line will be better? Of course, K2. So again, a producer will be in equilibrium because he want to produce same chocolates in a minimum possible cost. So K2 is the best cost, बराबर best combination of capital and labor. Now, ठीक है, where my 1,000 chocolates will get produced. So producer will be in equilibrium. Again, the theory same. Cost line is tangent to IQ curve. So producer is in equilibrium where ISO cost line is tangent to isocon curve. Right? Hope you understood this theory. So that's it, my dear students. This was your quick revision session. Simple words, clear concept. Now there is no room for confusion. If you understood everything in one go, say yes, sir, and give it one more quick revision. Remember, smart study is the best strategy. Keep revising, stay confident, and believe in your preparation. And don't forget to tell your friends that these notes are total exam lifesaver. Stay consistent, stay motivated, and I will see you in the next rapid fire revision.